Oh, brand new bike, running it through some dirt roads. Not the greatest of plans. About to run out of light. Hey guys, welcome back. So I finally got what I would consider the best street super sport ever made, in my opinion. So I'm currently coming from a Kawasaki Ninja 636, and my other bike is a Kawasaki Ninja 400, and this is what I would consider to fit perfectly right between the two bikes. You're going to get a very nice linear power band, but still obtain that super sport, aggressive riding stance and style. And let's face it, this thing is absolutely beautiful. I was torn between the blue one and the black one. It took me hours, sadly, in the dealer to even figure out which one I wanted. That's a big decision, right? Blue or black? I don't know. Which one would you guys choose? Obviously, I went for black, but I figured in the long run, all my gears, black, white, and red. So I'd be looking like Superman or the American flag flying down the road. Not that it wouldn't have been a great excuse to buy all new gear, right? So today's video is not necessarily a review. I definitely plan to do a review on this bike. I will take the time to go through all the specs. I will run it through its 600 miles, change its oil before I start actually getting on the bike really hard and enjoying it. Better way to do it, safer way to do it, better for the bike. So this is mainly just a first impressions video. And we're gonna take a little short cruise. We just picked it up today. Yeah, she's got some pretty decent little grunt. It's quite weird because the way it sounds, I don't know if you've ever ridden an R1, but the R1 has this nice groaning growl, and it's definitely because of that cross-plane beast motor that's in it. And then this thing has essentially the same styled cross-plane motor, but it is in an inline 2, but they share that cross-plane method in which they do on the R1, which is pretty cool. So that's what gives it that nice grunty sound versus like my Ninja 400, where it just has this little ting-tingy sound that I just don't like an inline 2. I don't like the sound of them. I think I said that in my Ninja 400 video. So for whatever reason, this thing sounds fantastic. I could only imagine with an exhaust how nice this would sound. I'm not normally big on putting exhausts and getting crazy on spending tons of money on my bike, but I'll tell you, this one, I want to do it. It sounds amazing. I know it would sound even better with a nice exhaust system on it. So back to the bike and the first impressions. Right now, the feel, the ergonomics is exactly what I wanted. This is how I wanted my Ninja 400 to feel. It's in a nice aggressive race position. It is not over the top insane. I'm not uncomfortable in this position. In fact, I feel perfectly right at home. I feel so comfortable on this bike. It just feels right to me, honestly. It's perfect little combination between my 636 and my 400. I spent a lot of time, effort, and money to make my 400 feel more like a race-styled motorcycle, and I already get it right off the bat with this bike. In addition to that, I get a little less power than that 600 Screamer. The only way to really enjoy a 600 is when you're high in the rev ranges. If you're high in the rev ranges, you've already broken the law. I'll hit 80 miles an hour in first gear on my 636. I'm at 100 by the end of the second gear, and I'm at 120 by the end of the third gear. And it's fun to run out at least 3 gears, and you're already at 120 miles an hour. So for me, this bike will kind of allow me to have a good time on the streets, staying in that nice race position, but not just freaking totally breaking the law everywhere I go. So this is the perfect bike for that situation, for the situation I want, for the streets. This is the perfect street race motorcycle. She's looking pretty. It's pretty mellow sounding. Even get a little bit of some popping coming up to a stop sign. Kind of interesting. Definitely gives you that little feel like it's this beast. Let's face it, we all know it's not crazy, it's perfect. Like I said, this is the ideal street super sport. She is Like a mini R1 is kind of what I'd like to call it, is what would make a little more sense. I'd say this is definitely the perfect in-between R3, R1 bike now. I've ridden an R1, I rode it out on a track. As much as I'd like to say the R1s are just crazy beast powerful, they are definitely very powerful motorcycles. The power was definitely not like insane in my opinion, not like I thought, 'cause, you know, you think an R1 or a 1000cc motorcycle is just going to be like just insanely powerful, and it was very powerful, but not quite what I had expected, not as much as I expected. It almost seemed like it was more of a manageable power. Granted, it was the first time riding it. I was on a track, so I got to play a little bit, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I had a higher expectation of what the speed was going to be, and it wasn't quite where my expectation was. So I really think this is a perfect little in-between bike, and definitely the perfect motorcycle to be having on the streets instead of like a 600 or a R1 for sure. So there's initial first impressions. I really like the power band of it. I really like the feel of it. I love the ergonomics. The little grunt is nice. It sounds fantastic, and I'm definitely super happy for this purchase. If you want more content on this R7 and all the things I'm going to do to it, make sure you subscribe down below. Put a comment, tell me what you think about this bike. Tell me if you would have bought the blue one or the black one, and what you think I should actually do to this bike going forward. I am super excited. I know I'll be dumping probably more money into this thing than I should. It is just fantastic. That grunt, that power, it's there. It's nice. It's not like I'm heavily losing out. I was kind of afraid I would lose out on a little bit of power when it comes from my 636. But it's just it's such a different power. You've got to wring the little 636's neck to get it. And when you get it, yeah, you get it, man. It's scary. It rips. That 636 rips. But I don't feel like I'm losing too much speed and power. I feel like I can still have a really good time. So thanks for watching, guys. I know this is a short one. I just bought it today. I just barely got enough miles on this thing to get the tires rubbed out, but I still don't want to get it too hard because it's a brand new motor and I got a little bit of breaking in to do. So stay tuned. I will make a full review here shortly. And then all the rest of the oil changes and chain adjustments and all that fun stuff that we have to do to our bikes.